An ammunition blast that destroyed a military depot sent shrapnel and shells raining down over a patch of southeastern Ukraine in 2004. The cause of the explosion? A lit cigarette butt. Yep, some bonehead military personnel flicked his unfinished cigarette in the direction of the artillery, and wouldn't you know it, boom goes the dynamite. There's a reason why there's no smoking signs all over the base. During the explosion, 7,000 residents of nearby villages had to be evacuated. The country's defense ministry suffered the equivalent of $400 million in damage, and that's not including the damage to civilian areas of $80,000. The blast actually killed one arsenal guard, and 4 other people died later due to aggravated health problems. Listen, I know it's cold and boring being a security guard in a military depot, but you still have to follow the rules, comrade. The former police chief of Lanesboro, Minnesota went to great lengths to appear heroic in front of his ex-girlfriend. John Tuche came up with the fantastic idea to set fire to 3 apartments. The buildings that were erected in the 1890s were at the center of historic downtown Lanesboro, and one of those buildings was the residence of his former lover. Paraphrasing from the court documents, he basically wanted to start a fire and then, just in the nick of time, save her from the raging inferno. He thought that if he could pull this off, he could win her affections again. It didn't work though. After investigators suspected him of the fire, his story kept changing. After he finally admitted that he was the culprit in an apology letter, he was charged with 9 felony counts of arson and 6 counts of criminal damage to property. This simpleton of a man caused over $500,000 in damages. He was sentenced to 6 years in jail, where he spent most of the time dodging the sharpened toothbrushes of other inmates. No, seriously, they tried to kill him in jail. Twice. From one fire to the next, we travel up to Oregon, where a woman sparked a 51,000-acre wildfire. You won't believe how she got caught or the reasons behind why she did it. 23-year-old Sadie Renee Johnson had some leftover fireworks from her 4th of July festivities. While driving down the street next to some woods, she lit up a few and threw them out the window, igniting a rather sizable fire. Although the blaze was discovered within 15 minutes, firefighters couldn't get it under control. The fire, now known as the Sunnyside Turnoff wildfire, spread rapidly over 80 square miles, costing $8 million to fight. It took firefighters 2 months to bring it under complete control. After the blaze was subdued, Johnson posted on her Facebook page asking her friends, "Like my fire?" This ignoramus was arrested within a week. What's even more shocking is that she said she did it because her firefighter friends were bored and she wanted to give them something to do. What a f***ing idiot. Anybody from the Missouri-Illinois area that's lived there long enough probably remembers the Great Flood of '93. What's crazy about that disaster is the fact that one man is blamed for the entire thing. James R. Scott was one of about 100 people who were supposed to monitor the levee for trouble spots and weaknesses. One afternoon, he was seen moving sandbags from one place to another. About 2 hours after those bags were moved, water started to rush through. The levee broke and subsequently sucked in a barge that crashed into a gas station and caused a huge explosion. The floodwaters stretched to over 14,000 acres and closed down bridges from Missouri to Illinois for about 200 miles. Although James claims he's innocent of any wrongdoing, fingers started to point in his direction after he confessed his harebrained scheme to his friends. He admitted to them that he wanted to strand his commuting wife on the other side of the river for a couple of days so that he could have an affair, drink, and party. James was convicted to life in prison and won't be eligible for parole until 2023. Hey, y'all remember that dude that caused a shipwreck off the coast of Italy a couple years back? You know, the captain that abandoned ship before people on board even knew the vessel was going down? Yeah, that guy. Well, turns out that he capsized the boat by accident while trying to impress his new girlfriend. The moron of a captain, Francesco Scatino, took the cruise liner too close to the shore while trying to perform a maneuver called a sail-past salute. I'm not sure what's so impressive about treading a 4,200 passenger cruise ship over rocky, shallow waters. It seems like a bonehead thing to do if you ask me. When the Coast Guard found out that he abandoned the ship, they gave him direct orders to get back on the boat and assist the passengers in evacuation. But he said, nah. The ship overturns and 32 people lost their lives. Not only that, but the process to remove the ship debris from the sea cost $1.6 billion and claimed an additional life of a diver working on the salvage. Francesco was sentenced to 16 years in prison, the captain that wouldn't go down with his ship.